Welcome back to Cox Connections. Our next guest is Fairfax County Sheriff Stacey Kincaid. She's here to tell us about the vital role her office plays and the programs they provide for public safety. Sheriff Kincaid, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And you have a lot of experience at the Sheriff's Office. You've actually been there 28 years and you're a native of Fairfax County, is that right?
I am.
And started out in what role?
I started out as a college intern and then graduated from college, and a month later I was employed by the Sheriff's Office and have worked in the capacity of supervisory roles and administrative positions and operational positions, and here I am today.
That's great. And the Sheriff's Office has actually been around since 1742, is that right?
That's correct. We've been around since 1742, and we're different from the police department in that our role in the community is managing the Adult Detention Center, providing security for the courthouse, and serving civil law process. The police department, they're responsible for traffic enforcement, criminal investigations, and that's
great. And the police department is actually appointed the chief by the Board of Supervisors, where yours actually elected.
That's correct.
Throughout the county.
I'm a constitutional officer, and I'm elected throughout not only the county of Fairfax, but also the city of Fairfax too. It's 2 jurisdictions.
So the Sheriff's Office has been around since 1742, but you're the first woman to be sheriff, right?
I am.
That's terrific. So the Sheriff's Office also has a lot of wonderful programs they provide in the community. I know I've taken advantage of some of them. Tell us about the programs that you offer.
So one of our programs is our Child Safety Seat program, which is offered throughout the year. We also offer it the last Saturday of every month. Therefore, we have Child Safety Seat Saturday, where we have child safety seat technicians ensure that safety seats are installed properly. And it's amazing that only 5% of the safety seats that we do see are installed correctly. So we take great pride in ensuring that children are in a safety seat and that they are safe and secure while they're in a vehicle. We also have our Child ID program, where we provide an identification card for children, which includes a picture ID with their name, height, weight, and their thumbprint on the back. So God forbid a child should go missing, the parent or the caregiver has that identification card. We also have our Project Lifesaver program, where we have clients that range from children that are on the autism spectrum disorder to Down syndrome, as well as adults who may have Alzheimer's or dementia. And our clients that are part of this program are those that tend to wander. So we provide them with an ankle bracelet, if you will, which serves as a GPS tracking device should they go wandering. And we're very fortunate that we have a 100% success rate. And I guess one of my favorite programs is our Shop with the Sheriff program, where we are now in, I think, our 21st year, where we take children who reside in homeless shelters throughout the county, shopping at the Target and Burke for school supplies and items that they need, to include clothing, to begin the school year off right. We're very fortunate with that program. It's a program that pairing a child up with our staff members and having them have the opportunity to see them as role models is really huge. It makes a difference.
That's great. But the business of the Sheriff's Department, the Sheriff's Office, is a really serious business. So you oversee the Adult Detention Center. How many inmates do we have there?
We manage the Adult Detention Center with 1,100 inmates. We provide security for the courts, and we also serve civil law process. And those three things are our core responsibilities.
And then you have volunteers, but how many employees do you have there at the Sheriff's Office?
So about 600, we have 610 employees, and we have over 300 volunteers that are able to provide resources and services to our inmate population. And we also have over 30 reserve deputy sheriffs, which help supplement our staffing and they're a great resource to help us out, not only inside the jail, but in other areas of the office.
And you provide programs inside to the inmates to help them as they transition out. Tell us about those.
That's correct. So it's an opportunity for us to bring resources inside to include GED. Inmates are able to get their GED. They're able to attend classes that deal with life skills, as well as domestic violence, religious programs, an array of programs that are going to help them once they get out of jail, and hopefully they will be able to be successful and not come back into jail. And we also look for resources on the outside that we can bring in, as we did last March with our inmate resource fair, where we had over 200 inmates attend a resource fair that included 20 government agencies ranging from probation and parole to mental health programs to our Department of Motor Vehicles to housing that would be available. So this is another step in ensuring, or at least helping, those individuals who are going to come back into our neighborhoods and community. About 50% of our inmates are actually from Fairfax County. So it is a big initiative. It's very important that we do focus on trying to give them the tools they need in order to succeed once they get out of jail.
Right, transitioning to a positive life after their incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. And I know that you also have had a big focus on mental health. Tell us about that.
So before I was even elected sheriff, I've been an advocate for those that are mentally ill. There is no reason why our jail should be the mental health hospital, because we're a jail. So I'm working with trying to convince local and state officials to find better solutions and resources for those individuals who are mentally ill that would be better served in a mental health facility as opposed to a jail. And that's just an initiative that we need to focus and pay more attention to.
I know you also, as sheriff, changed the time that inmates actually left the system. Tell us about that and why it was important.
So a couple of changes that I did make once I was elected was I did change the release time for inmates. It used to be 1 minute after midnight, and when you release someone in the middle of the night where they have no resources, they have no transportation, they may be homeless and have nowhere to go, then we're releasing folks without anything into the middle of the night. That makes no sense. So I changed that release time to 8 o'clock in the morning, and of course, with our community collaboration and working with other nonprofits within the area, we're able to provide, whether it's transportation, whether it is a place for them to go to, a shelter, or even some type of program that just makes more sense. And in addition to that, I also ensured that the same manner of housing men was provided for women, and these were the folks that are mentally ill. And it is a better environment. It's co-located next to our community services board, our mental health providers, and it's equal and fair, and that's what I did.
That's great. How can people learn more about the Sheriff's Office and the programs that you offer?
They can go to our website, which is fairfaxcounty.gov/sheriff.
That's great. Sheriff Stacey Kincaid, thanks so much for joining us today. It was a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
And thanks for joining me on this episode of Cox Connections. Before you go, I want to personally thank you for choosing Cox Communications for your entertainment and information and communications needs. We know you could have chosen another provider, but because you chose us, we pledge to be a friend you can trust. We promise to provide you with quality products backed by a talented team of local professionals. And from all your friends and neighbors here at Cox, we want to thank you for joining us on this edition of Cox Connections. Have a great day.